Right, good afternoon from the UK, ladies and gentlemen, TI community and everyone watching with interest. That includes the authorities, Coventry Council authorities, sector abusers, police abusers, and local community, fraudsters, armed forces, mercenaries, contractors, whoever's aiding and abetting. The covert operation around my mother's house, around my family over 18 years, this is what they are capable of. They set up all the surveillance monitoring, OTT, legal, non-consensual, humane operations around families, and they'll get to work on them, having manpower doing shifts from all walks of life, different ages, retired people, elders, seniors, adults, teenagers, to stalk the victims 24 hours a day. And that includes shadowing, track and tracing the victims in their properties. Then they use technical sophisticated equipment to visualise everything the targets are doing in their homes, watching them in their homes, seeing what they've got in their homes, anything from jewellery to material things, to cars, anything they buy online or when they go to the shops. Listen to every conversation, picking up every telecommunications, whether it's home phone, mobile phone, or internet activity, even the online banking, and work out, obviously from all the information they've got, what they can steal from them. And so this piece in the local paper shows some fraudsters in another county, another city in the West Midlands who've been arrested for fraud. I'm not saying, doesn't say anything about this gang using technical sophisticated set-up around the victims, but it's obvious they targeted an elderly woman, elderly victim, and worked out a way to con money out of her, making out they're going to carry out repairs on their homes. Now, with these remote neural monitoring technologies, they can get to work on victims, brain map their victims' brains, getting information out of them, seeing if they can hypnotise them, trance them. And if they can talk the victim to handing out all the finances or paying out people they send around, salespeople, to con men to do repairs on the house. And they'll gradually steal as much finances off the victims. And if they've got someone working in the local authority, social services, elderly care home sectors, healthcare, they'll look to disable the victim and using the community to make slanderous, audacious calls to say the elderly person can no longer live on their own. They need help with their everyday living activities and need to have divine intervention and be put into elderly care home. And then if the victim has got not much of a big family to be looked after, eventually they can steal that property, the intellectual property theft, which does occur and has happened time and time again with the healthcare system. And so, as a target of the community, we're just warning people in our communities and around the world to watch out for these criminal networks, fraudsters, who, like technology, they adapt to it all, get their hands on apparatus, equipment, cyber, software that they can put onto the victims' phones, or have some covert operator near them who can access the victims' phones and see what they're doing on there. That includes the online banking and any communications they're doing. Still any phish for information in emails of targets, bank accounts, and various financial information, and work out ways in how to steal the finances of the victims in the end. Also as well, with the knowledge I've got So I say it's walking, the technology we've got, it's walking burglaries, trespassing 24 hours a day, and eavesdropping, let alone the sick, voyeuristic, satanic ritual abuse of watching the victims in bed, in the bathroom, in the toilet, in the shower. And again, if they've got associates in healthcare, social services, they'll tell vindictive lies to try and get the victim institutionalised. And if a victim, like my mother, has got family, me and my brother, they try to work on me and my brother, trying to stitch and frame us into an institution, using the local community fraudsters, the local plastic wannabe gang members, who will make audacious phone calls to social services networks, healthcare networks that associate with, that we know of, who are corrupted, manipulated, bribed, blackmailed, for favour or for money, to try and destroy that family. So there's all various sub-projects out there when it comes to mind control, remote neutral monitoring, satanic ritual abuse. After the rest, we all know about MK Ultra, the various sub-projects there is out there. And depending on what they've got tailor-made for the targets, and depending on how old the targets are, with the elderly, they try and hypnotise them, they try and trance them, and try and brain map them, put words in their mouths, and if they can control them, they'll get the elderly victim to fall out with their families, with their friends, with their neighbours, and also with some neighbours, like my mother's case, who she didn't like years ago. She suddenly seems to think they're right. So, in my experiences, they are trying to brainwash my mother and think they've got control of her. So I'm just watching out for her, watching out for my brother. And I've tried to warn my mother and brother before. That's a lot of my subscribers and targeted individuals network know that I've talked about. And that's why these covert operators are still around here. Because we're trying to sabotage our family's relationships and trying to stitch and frame us up any way they can and trying to do intellectual property theft of my mother. That's why I'm warning Coventry Council establishment, Coventry Healthcare, NHS, Mental Health, the South Doctor Psychiatrists and the Coventry Police to beware of these technical sophisticated covert operators, rogue covert operators, racketeering covert operators, corrupted covert operators who are major fraudsters. So the saga continues. Yeah, the landlords next door, they have to be investigated. And if they are cooperating, collaborating, conspiring with Coventry Council sector abusers and local community members who've bought the houses, then they have to realise what I am exposing and warn whoever they're conspiring with, they can't continue. And whoever owns the houses, I know the people at 27 Village Street who owned it a couple of years ago, plastic wannabe, wearing Stone Island gear, used to be postman, might still be a postman, he's been spotted around me a couple of times, especially when I used to go up Stony Stanton Road to get the coach bus to Seaver. Yeah, he's a fraudster, football hooligan, stereotyped idiot. And his girlfriend links to Rugby Council, who the girl who I've mentioned for a long time, Zena, associates with, or has association with. So that's why I've been trying to expose these crimes, because the Coventry Police and the Coventry Council establishment are trying to cover it all up. So I posted this post today, not long ago, on my social media, and I will put this up on my YouTube channel. Everyone digest it all so I can analyse it all, do your research in remote neutral monitoring, satanic ritual abuse, NLP, and all the MK Ultra sub-projects out there that are still continuing to this day, even though governments say we're trying to cover it all up and say that they have no evidence of it happening in communities. Well, the evidence is who are these covert operators that surround me every day, and why won't they walk away when they listen to me 24 hours a day and know I've been exposing it all on social media? Because they're conspiring with healthcare, NHS, medical, non-consensual researchers, and conspiring with evil, targeting mental health administrators and added care home sectors. And they've been networking. Me and my family, obviously I'm using staged actors, staged scenarios in other properties, in other workplaces, out in public somewhere, acting out scenes that's out of the ordinary, abnormal, weird, and then editing it all. It's got similar body shapes to us, similar facial expressions when it's been looked at via thermology, infrasound, ultrasound, track and trace equipment, and then they're trying to say it's this. That's another part of these fraudsters. They've got secret shows of targets using stage actors, using stage scenarios, and trying to make subjects and examples to the local community. Who's somewhat defrauded, somewhat in on it, and then they'll make audacious phone calls, slanderous phone calls, defamation of character phone calls about me and my family and to other people they're trying to do it to in the future and have done in the past, to state that they're concerned and that the people they've just watched, the targeted individuals, they need help. That's how these fraudsters and covert operators try and make subjects and examples out of TIs, and how they're trying to stitch and frame them up into the associates in healthcare, social services, mental health, and elderly care home faulty networks. So everyone, digest it all. And TIs out there, keep it real. Scroll for your local newspapers, coverage, and you'll find crimes that you can relate to are linked to the remote neutral monitoring networks, to the covert abusers, to the gangstalkers networks. Over and out.